Hey everybody, welcome to this Tuesday's Leadership Zoom. I'm Lisa Fuller, in case you're brand new and you don't know me. And I am super excited because today we have one of the company's newest millionaires and our personal team's newest millionaire on um, to share her story. And it's so crazy. I was just thinking about the fact today that we have been in, if you're on my team, you've been in 3.5 years or less. We just hit our 3.5 year anniversary. And it is insane to me to think that our team already has one, two, three, four, 5 millionaires. Um, we have so many more that are going to pop before the end of the year. And when I think about the next 5 years, for anybody, doesn't matter what team you're on, I think about the potential that you have with Lavelle. And I think sometimes we just don't understand how amazing our compensation plan is and how awesome we have it here. A lot of you guys may or may not know I was with another company for 6.5 years. And for 6.5 years in that other company, no one ever got to the top of the comp plan with me. In 6.5 years, no one ever joined the Millionaires Club with me. And it is insane. It's hard for me to wrap my head around the fact that we have Tuyen on today that just went, our fifth millionaire on the team, and we're just getting started. We're just getting started, and it's only been 3.5 years, half the time that I was with a whole another company for half that time. It's just insane. So I hope you guys realize really what you have your hands on with Lavelle, because it's truly, truly something so special that it's insane. And I'm so excited. I always get super excited when I get to interview someone that's actually on our team. As you guys know, we've been doing this call every single Tuesday, noon Eastern, this same link. So if you guys want to, if you're new, if you guys want to put that in your calendar, we have been doing this now for almost 2 years. And I have interviewed a different 200K every week. And again, mind blowing that there's enough 200Ks in this company to continue to interview new people. But I always get excited when I get to interview one that is from our team. And today it's super special that I'm interviewing Tuyen, because not only is her story fabulous and she is absolutely incredible. Even if you're not on her team, I'm sure you've seen her name. You're like, Tuyen, it's Tuyen. If you've seen that name, you've seen it on the leadership board probably several times in the cloud office. And it's because this amazing lady right here, she's been in the top PPA, in my top 10 PPA since the day she started. It's incredible to be able to do something like that. She not only, talks the talk, she walks the walk every single day for her team. And I have a feeling you're going to get so much out of her story. Tuyen, if you want to unmute yourself, honey.
Hi.
Hey, oh my gosh. First of all, you're awesome. Because Tuyen, actually, I asked her, I was going to be later on in the month, and I messaged her last night and said, hey, can you do tomorrow? Because I had a cancellation. And she's like, she even switched an appointment for me. Like, this is what dedication is. I mean, showing up, you never not show up. You always make it work. And it's just incredible. But there's a lot of people on here, scrolling through the names. I'm like, oh my gosh, who are some of these names? We have so many new people joining us. I think last month I was blown away. I was like, hundreds and thousands of new promoters joining us. And a lot of people don't know our backgrounds, our stories at all. So I wanted to start in the beginning, in the beginning of Tuyen. Share with us what you were doing before network marketing, because I know that really Lavelle is your first network marketing company. I know that you kind of dabbled in something long, long time ago, but it wasn't really anything big. And then kind of tell us how you even found Lavelle and, the Thrive experience, what you felt with that. And then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay, perfect. Well, hi everyone. My name is Tuyen from Vancouver, BC. First of all, thank you so much, Lisa, for inviting me to do this. I knew that it was going to happen sooner or later. So I was just like, let's just do it. it's never easy to come on. You know, I can do trainings all day and I can talk in front of my team all day, but to talk in front of, you know, so many other people that I don't know and to share such a vulnerable part of yourself, it's like never easy, right? But I think it just takes practice, and that's why I'm kind of excited to do this, but also really nervous at the same time. But you know what, even if you're 200K or a millionaire, it doesn't matter. So how I think, you know what, you inviting me on this had really challenged me to go back to like me even before, you know, close to being starting Thrive. So not a lot of people know this, but I was actually moved out and lived on my own when I was like 17. My dad just like was like, hey, he's moving to Montreal, and gave me an option to live here by myself or come with him. And obviously I chose to live here. So paying rent on my own since I was 17, which was crazy because I never really remember that part. I had Jaden, my firstborn, at, what was it? I got pregnant at 19, had him at 20. So, and was a single mom, I think, at 22. And let me tell you, it was freaking hard. Because not only was I young, I was like literally on my own. I didn't have much help. And also too, it was my career, right? My job, whatever I was doing for work was not paying enough for me to, you know, put him into daycare and being able to be at work at the same time. So those times in my life, I think if this opportunity came to me, it would have been so different. But at that point, I couldn't be a mom and be able to, you know, support myself and support him at the same time. So I actually had to bring him to Montreal for like 6 months, and then I decided to get my life together and go back into schooling. And I think I don't know how much money I had saved at the time, but it wasn't a lot. So I just put that into going into school for insurance, auto insurance. And it was promising because I was like, hey, I'm going to have, you know, a 9 to 5, I'm going to have a salary, all this stuff that I was hoping that would help me get through, I don't know, life, right? And so I got set up with that. And then, you know, little did I know, you know, the first 3 months of probation, you're not making much money because you're getting paid a certain amount. So again, it wasn't enough for me to kind of sustain, you know, being a single mom. So then I had to decide that I had to pick up something else. So that was when I got into eyebrows, right? So I always knew that I was really creative and I love being, you know, in the beauty industry. I love talking about beauty. So I, again, put myself in all the money that I had saved up. I was in debt, by the way. Like the money that I had was actually money that I had that I could have, you know, put away into my debt, but I couldn't, right? So I did that, put myself into more schooling and, you know, more training on stuff. And then, so I had 2 jobs at the time before I started Thriving, and it was okay. It was okay. You know, it was one of those things where it's like the more I worked, the less time I had for my kids, for my life, for everything that I wanted to do, right? So, I mean, you trade time for your money, let's be honest. But when I was doing eyebrows, it was great because it was like, see one client, you know, you make a lot of money at the first 2 hours because, you know, each brow that I did, it was tattooing, was like $500, but it was a service, and it was me being in the service industry. So it was always like making sure people were happy. It was always like on other people's times. I always had to show up for them. And, you know, when they weren't happy with the results or when I had to, you know, do things for them, it took a toll on me as well, right? So I knew that that wasn't my end game, and I was always searching for something to do. And I think when I discovered Thrive, you know, I was 7 months postpartum. I think it came to me at the perfect time because I was already in search of something else, and I was on mat leave at the time. And actually Tanya was one of my brow client, and I think that's why everything works out. Everything is meant to happen for a reason. She wasn't even supposed to be my brow client. She was supposed to go somewhere else, but you know, she got desperate, and so she decided to book with me, and she literally came in and walked through the door and changed my life. So forever grateful for that. So when I met her, the first initial meeting, she wasn't thriving yet. Her energy was really different. You know, I was really intimidated by her because she's this hot, like, you know, like super mom, and I was like, wow, I want to be like that, right? But yeah, it was really different. And then I didn't see her again for the next 4 months, and so I didn't think that she needed a touch up. So when she messaged me again, and then I started stalking her Instagram, because I saw her, you know, talking about this patch and this weight loss thing. And at the time I was 7 months postpartum, and I was always looking for something for my weight. You know, I was on an endless journey of like trying to like make myself feel better. It was just like a mask of how I was feeling, because, you know, everything was just so dramatic in my life prior to it. And I was just trying to do things to make myself feel better. And weight loss and, you know, those things are one of those things, right? So that day she came in to see me for the second time, and she was completely different. Her vibe, her energy, like she was just excited, right? And I was like, okay, like I want what she's on. But it was like the weight loss that I wanted to look for. And when she came home, when I came home that day, you know, I was like actually waiting for her to message me, because I wanted the link to order it from, right? Because she didn't help me order on the spot, you know, she made me wait. And at around 8:30, I remember it so vividly, because I was literally sitting there thinking, is this lady going to message me or not? So I ended up reaching back to her, and it was funny because I think I was like searching for it, and it was there, right? So ordered it that night. And you know, at that time, we're from Canada, so at the time the conversion, it was Canada, the website was US pricing, so we didn't know what the conversion was going to be. So when I converted it myself, I was like, wow, this is really expensive. And again, at that time, I wasn't really at a point in my life where I can be spending like, I think it was like $250 on, you know, this thing I don't even know about, right? No one around me was thriving at the time. And I remember walking back and forth for 30 minutes thinking like, am I going to do this? Like, is this, you know, should I even try this? This is kind of expensive, right? But you know what? I was just like, whatever. And then I clicked the order button, and then Thrive actually came to my house the day of my birthday. So, which was so crazy, because I look back now, I'm like, wow, that was like a gift from the universe, right? And I said that before. I started Thriving the following day, and you guys, I did not reach out to Tanya. I didn't tell her I got it, nothing, right? I think she was in Mexico at the time, or not in Mexico, she was going to Mexico maybe, but I did it completely wrong. I kind of just read it from the back of the boxes, and I kind of just did whatever. And I didn't get the initial, oh my God, what am I feeling? And honestly, I didn't expect anything. I thought these products were just a weight loss product. I didn't even know that it was good for me. Like everything that she told me about mental clarity, energy, all that stuff, I didn't really know that I needed it, right? Because I was like drinking 6 cups of coffee at the time. I was still sleeping all day long, but I thought that was just life, you know? And I thought that was just how I was going to feel forever. And I was okay with that. So when she told me about those benefits, it actually just didn't even cross my mind. I was just more in zone with like the weight loss. And then so I started doing it, and thank God these products were so amazing. I started seeing like internal changes, like my clothes was getting looser. But then the one thing I didn't know was I was going to cut coffee. So I didn't know this about Thrive, but I still was drinking my cup of coffee, but I couldn't finish it because I thought I was full from the shakes. So then I really got looking into it, and I started reading stories on the Facebook fan page, and then everyone was saying kind of the same thing that I was experiencing. And I was like, holy crap, like I was taking vitamins for the last 10 days and I didn't even know. So that was when I was like, okay, this is good. And then when I saw my side-by-side picture, I sent it to Tanya, and I was like, wow, this is crazy, because I haven't really changed anything I did daily. And I was like waking up earlier. I was happier, in a happier mood. And everyone I talked to that saw my DFT, I was just like already sharing it with them. And that was when she's like, you know what, like there's absolutely no fees to be a part of this. Like, why don't you just try promoting it to your friends? So that was how I started my journey.
You know, it's so crazy because I think there's a lot of people who like on accident thrived or didn't take it the right way, or we have so many stories like that, but somehow it's still getting those 3 steps in their body still made a difference, and it was eye-opening. And I think the other thing about your story too, when you talk about the fact that you thought it was expensive, and you're in Canada and it does convert over, and sometimes when we come into something like that, our mindset going into a business is like, okay, this is so expensive. How am I going to sell this? And we kind of ruin it for ourselves because we can't get over that in our own minds. So then we kind of are spreading that to other people. And I don't know how many people, and you probably get this too, Twin. I think as promoters, it's the biggest objection we get.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so expensive. Like in our minds, that's what we tell ourselves. Or, oh my gosh, who's going to buy this from me? No one has money. And you overcame that. And I want to get to that in a minute. But tell me a little bit about you got started. You right away, did you hit the promoter button or did you just start as a customer?
I started as a customer, so Tanya set me up perfectly. She walked me through the order process, and I said this before, I'm so glad that she made me do the work because when I started really getting interested in these products, as in I started seeing results and feeling results, I got really interested in promoting this opportunity. And when she first met me, I'm telling you guys now, she talked about the opportunity with me when we were doing her eyebrows. Like she was like, this is a great company with a great compensation plan, blah, 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 all this amazing stuff. I got my car paid for. And you guys, I was in a mindset of that wasn't for me. And I didn't even want to hear it, right? But I was just nodding. I was like, yeah, cool. Okay. Like, just give me that weight loss stuff. But thank God that she did talk to me about that, because when I realized that, these products are working for me, I got really curious about the business side. So like I said, the last Zoom that I was on, I got really, curious to the point where I found myself logging into the website daily and reading up on everything and looking at videos and, seeing what this whole cloud thing was about. Like I got really interested. So I decided to press the promote button, I think 3 weeks after, because I already had a transformation and I was talking to so many people about it. And the biggest objection for me at that time when I started was the fear of not having time. So that was my biggest thing. I was like, oh my God, like if I take on this is a third thing that I'm doing, because I was already doing auto insurance and I was doing eyebrows. Like, how am I going to do a third thing? Like, do I even want to start that? So 3 weeks after I clicked the promoter button, and then I asked Tanya, I was just like, tell me what to do. I was very, I was just like, just let me know what, like, I was actually, I read back on our conversation and I was actually like harassing her almost, like, okay, what do I do now? Or like, what should I post? And this and that. So she told me what to do, and I made my first post, and I got a lot of engagements on it, and it just took off from there, really.
So after you hit that promoter button, did you get your VIP bonuses? How long did it take you? Like, let's go through your whole ladder of, did you get VIPs? How long did it take to go 4K? How long to 12K, 40, 80, 200?
Okay. So August 5th was when I hit the promoter button, and I think I know I hit my VIP in the first week. And then I hit my VIP in the second week, and that month I actually went 12K. So I was just, balls to the wall, sharing Thrive with everyone. Everyone was messaging me. So many people were messaging me about it that I didn't have time to go into the technicality and what Thrive was. And I think that was perfect. That was like beneficial to me, because I was just like, okay, you need to get this. This is what I was on. This is how to order. Like, I was just doing that because so many people were messaging me. I didn't have time to like talk about the ingredients, talk about the step, how to do it, what it did, right? So I went 12K. Tanya told me I was going 12K, and I was like, no, I don't think I can go 12K. And I think I remember the last 2 days I was at $10,000 in volume. And she was like, you can do it. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And my biggest fear afterwards was like, how am I going to maintain this? And she's like, don't worry, you're going to maintain it. I was like, okay. And then the following month I went 40K. And then the following month afterwards, I went 80K, because I had signed some people that went, hit some ranks, because there was the leadership board at that time in October. And I remember I took first place. Because we were I took first place, and we had 3 other girls take some other place, earning like 9,000, 12,000. It was a lot. And so that took our team to K in volume. And then the following month in in November, I went back down to 40K. In December, I went back down to 12K. January was between 12 and 40. We're talking about 30,000. And then it took me up to March, I think, that I got back to my 80K rank. And then in April was 80K. I actually had to be 80K because I was running for a repeat bonus at the time. So I needed that, right? And then May was when I went to conference, and they announced double volume. And that was when I went home and I was like, wow, I'm going 200K this month. And that was when I went 200K with a double volume in May of 2018. And I was able to maintain it for the next couple months because I think they threw a bunch of promotions afterwards, but of course that didn't last, and I was back down to maybe I was always hovering around 170, 160 until March of 2019, and that was when I was able to hit my 200K again and sustain it since till now. So that was my journey. A lot of
you know what's crazy is you never you never got frustrated.
No.
And I think there's a couple reasons why, and I think we both talked about this, but you didn't have anything to compare this to. You didn't have another network marketing company that you went crazy with that you could go, okay, what's happening? Why did I lose rank? You were so grateful for everything that was happening, and you never once went, oh my gosh, I was just 80K, now I'm 12K again. There was nothing in you that thought negative, I guess is the word. But we've talked about this, and you said on one of the Zooms I did that one of the reasons you feel like maybe you fell back was you were not ready to be an 80K. No. Talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so one thing about that is I never lost I was never ungrateful for anything that I went through, because you guys, I thrive on time and freedom, and as long as I have that time and freedom to be at home, it doesn't matter what rank I am. It doesn't matter how much money I made. I wake up every day and I am grateful for just that. And that keeps me going, and that keeps me pushing and moving forward, right? So that was one of the reasons why I never lost or felt bad that I lost rank. But when I went 40K even.
I know, but you told me yesterday when I picked.
When I went 40K, even when I went 12K, to be honest with you guys, I look back now and I was like, I can't remember what I was doing when I was 12K, what I was doing when I was 40 or 80K, because I wasn't prepared for it. I wasn't prepared to anyone, literally anyone. I was in such a poor mindset. I was in a different mindset because I didn't understand this industry. I didn't know that to help yourself, you have to help others, right? I thought that I'm going to just recruit everyone, have them come in and do exactly what I do. Just post and share your experience, make sales, make money, and I was bringing people in the wrong way. So when I went 80K, I lost it, obviously. And I saw other 80Ks, I saw 200Ks, and I was like, well, I'm not doing anything they're doing, right? So it made sense for me looking back now. But when I was coming in, we grew so much, our team grew so much, and I wasn't taking the time to learn this business. I was just more doing what I was doing and what I was good at. And I expected people coming in to do exactly what I was doing. And that's the thing, people can't duplicate you, right? People can duplicate your daily actions you do to grow, to learn, but they can't duplicate you yourself, So I was telling people, I was coming in telling all my people to just sign up for a promoter account. You don't have to stay on auto ship and this and that. You'll get paid the same price. And I was telling people to come in and hit their VIP bonuses and be like, hey, just hit your VIP bonus, make this quick bonus, and afterwards just share whenever you want, make anything, if you make a sale, you make a sale. If you don't, then whatever. It's you're not going to have to pay for any fees, so why not, right? So everyone was coming in with that mindset of, okay, let's just hit this bonus and that's it. And then no one stuck by me, and no one really stuck into it. I didn't give them a clear vision of what this company can do for them. I wasn't really leading and training them about this business, because again, I wasn't doing it properly as well. So yeah, I wasn't ready at all. And it was only until I decided that, okay, I need to change something and I need to um, be a leader basically, and not just someone that was pushing products and enrolling people. That was when everything really changed for me. And I think the biggest, what really shifted it was when the repeat bonus came, and you had to get, you know, a brand new, you had to do brand new 200K volumes with new legs basically to hit this bonus. And when that email came out, I looked at it and I was like, how the hell am I going to build a 200K team with brand new people when I literally just fell from 80K to like back to a 12K? Like, how am I going to do this? And I had to self-reflect, and I had to be like, okay, what I'm doing isn't working because I can't even sustain my team that I have now. So I had to change it, and I had to really work on myself and what I was doing. And then I had to really kind of learn the industry again. Like, not even again, I didn't even learn it. I had to learn the industry. I had to learn the industry, basically.
You know, and I was thinking about, you're so right, because I think sometimes if somebody moves super fast, and I remember watching you, and I remember talking to Amanda and going, this chick is doing this on her own. Like, she's going 200K if she's the only one doing it by herself. And you had people working, don't get me wrong, but your PPA, you weren't looking at what anyone else was doing. You were so hyper focused on, I'll build this thing by myself if I have to. Then you kind of hit you that, okay, it's much easier if I get people to do this with me. It's much easier if I can teach some people to do the things that I'm doing. And, you know, I think that it's kind of an eye opener, because it's okay, you guys, if you've been listening to this call week after week after week, I don't know a 200K that hasn't said they haven't fallen back. You know, even if they didn't lose rank, they haven't gone in the opposite direction. We all do that. It's what you do from that. And that could have been really defeating for you, Tuyen. You could have been like, oh my gosh, I was just 80K, now I'm 12K. This business sucks. I'm out. Like, this is just too hard. Why did I mean, you didn't ever have that mindset, and you kept going, and you just, and then when you hit a wall, you were like, okay, what am I doing wrong? You didn't go blame other people. What am I doing that is making this so it's not moving forward? And you self-reflected and figured out, okay, I need to do what these other people are doing. And it's just so crazy how when you got it, you got it. I remember with Amanda, I'm like, can I get this twin girl on a Zoom? And you would not get on a Zoom. You're like, I am, like, you were the shyest person. I swear to you, the first lifestyle getaway, I'm like, this girl that I just met is so shy. How the heck did she do it? How is she doing what she's doing? And, you know, once you get to know you, you're not shy at all. You're like me. I'm the same way. Like, people meet me for the first time, and they're like, oh my God, you're so quiet. And then after I get to know you, it's like, blah, you're like that. And it's a crazy to me how much you have evolved into the leader you are in this short time. And it's so crazy. Like, I'm just so proud of you. I say that all the time, but like, now this person that wouldn't get on a Zoom heads them out constantly, steps out of her comfort zone all the time, because you know that's going to challenge you. So for those of you on who you do feel shyer, or you're like, I can't do a Zoom, look, we've all been there. Tuyen was there, and now she hit $1 million, you guys, $1 million in this company. And it's crazy. I want to talk a little bit about just that, the getting people to duplicate what you were doing. Like you said, you can't teach. You can teach, okay, go sign 2 and 2, go do it again. But you can't teach what you do. Like, Tuyen, you're crazy. And I think once you realize there's very few twins that are going to be these crazy high enrollers. And I also want you guys to remember this. Tuyen, you had a network.
Yeah.
It wasn't in network marketing, but you had a network. You were doing people's eyebrows. People trusted you. You had quite a few people on your Instagram. So you guys, it's not like Tuyen was like, you know, this crazy person who had no network at all and she came in and went nuts. She already had been planting seeds with people that trusted her.
Mhm.
So once she came out with this, and did you basically build through Instagram?
Yeah, so I basically built everything through Instagram. I had about 1,000 followers at the time, and they were just following me for my eyebrows, and also like I was sharing some tips on like how to draw an eyebrow or like what foundation I was using. When I wanted to talk about being coachable at the beginning, and that's
Yeah.
kind of hurt my business, and hurt the people coming in as well because I wasn't coachable. I remember Tanya telling me like, hey, can you make sure you check Facebook and this and that, and like, post this on Facebook, or like just use Facebook basically. And I was like, oh, Tanya, no one uses that anymore. Like if I signed someone that said that to me, I'd be like, oh my God, like now. And I like look back at what I said to her and I cringe, and she's so yellow and she's just so like scared to hurt my feelings, and she kind of just let me do whatever. And that was my fault. So she would, when we had people that hit ranks, so I was scared to post up people's banners, and I didn't want to make banners for people, and I didn't even want banners for myself because I was enrolling so many customers that I didn't want them to think that I am making money off them, right? So I didn't want to talk about the journey of my success, or like shouting other people in, acknowledging other people's success. And I remember the leaders got together and was like, Tuyen, like we made banners for you. Can you like for these people, like just kind of post it up. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. And then so I started posting it up, and I look back at that now and I was like, wow, I was just such in like I was hurting my team. I was really hurting my team because everyone came in because I was so uncoachable. They followed my example. And when you talked about the Zooms and like not going on lives and like being scared to talk in front of people and stuff, I didn't do those things because I was scared. And I'm telling you guys this all now that it's normal. I didn't want to volunteer and talk on live because I was scared of judgment. I was scared of people, what people were going to think. I was scared of saying the wrong things. I was scared of having people, view me as, it was just a fearful mindset. And I realized that for 6 months, I was avoiding and I didn't want to do it. And I couldn't tell them. I couldn't tell my team, hey, maybe you should share your story on here. Hey, maybe you should go live, or hey, maybe do you want to go, share your story on Zoom or like this. I couldn't tell my team that because I wasn't doing that. So how are you an 80K when you can't even lead by example in that way, So I think it's the most, it's the hardest thing for people to get over, but until you realize that, I needed to, be a better example for my team. I can't ask them to do what I wasn't willing to do. And that was when I was like, got out of it. And I was just like, I just started practicing. I just started doing small Zooms with a few people, got really comfortable with talking in front of a few, and then more and more. And now I'm talking in front of 231 people. But it all starts somewhere, but you just have to start basically. So that was why I didn't want to, I remember being on one of the Zooms, and then Amanda was like, oh my God, Tuyen, this and that, like, you share us some tips. And I literally pretend I wasn't there. Like, how some people put on their Zoom and just kind of like go away or something. And I pretended that I was doing that. So very, very, it wasn't good. I forgot what question you asked me, Elisa.
No, I'm glad you got into that because I think it's so important for people to hear. I mean, how many people on here, if you're honest with yourselves, it made it so much harder on yourself, or maybe you're new right now and you're making it so much harder on yourself because you're refusing to listen to what other people are telling you to do. And we always say, don't reinvent the wheel. You know what I mean? Obviously, if it's so-and-so just got to $1 million, they might have an idea on how to do that, but we think, oh no, I know my network best. I've heard that so many times. I know what my people want to see.
Oh,
I know. And I just want to strangle people and go, oh my gosh, if you would just do what I would go so much faster. And even for people that have been in network marketing before, they start bringing over what they heard or what they learned in their last company. And they're like, oh, I'm going to do that same exact thing here. sometimes that doesn't work. You've got to listen to what other people are telling you to do. And I think that for you personally, when I watched you grow the most and really come out of your shell is when you got over yourself, when you said, okay, I'm going to listen to what these people are telling me to do. I'm going to start, shouting people out, acknowledging my success. I'm going to start making sure that I'm, getting on Zooms, even if I don't want to. And, you were stepping out of your comfort zone to do it. So I think that is huge. When you think about how long has it been? How long did it take you to hit $1 million?
33 months.
33 months. Like, seriously, you guys, that's insane. How, in that time, in that 33 months, are there some things that stick out to you during that time, that besides, that beginning part where you kind of went up and down a little bit, is there anything that sticks out to you that you were like, I don't know, you're always so positive, so I don't even know the answer to this, but were you ever like, man, this sucks? Or did something ever happen on your team that you were like, wow, this is difficult to handle, or anything like that sticks out?
I think just more so the challenges of just different personalities, for sure is one. And learning how to lead is another one that was really, I had to really do a lot of development and business development, and really had to learn the ins and outs of it. Because, if I recruited myself back in 2017, I would probably drop myself, because I probably wouldn't even know how to deal with someone like that, right? And I learned this from you, Lisa, that like, I think I become a total problem solver, like a solution driven person, instead of like talking about issues and like, going over things that don't really help grow anyone or solve anything. So I've learned that. I think the biggest thing that popped up to me is just being around, that I really love about this, is just being around people that I can learn from. And I think that is very crucial for anyone that's brand new coming in. That trip that we were on, the first trip in Mexico, I was a 40K at the time, and I thought that was it. Like, I thought that was where I could be forever, and I was happy with that. I didn't even know any more than that. And it was, thank God that I went on that trip, that I surrounded myself with people like you, Lisa. I met Chad. Sorry. At that time, I still didn't know what a 200K was. I think Jamie Pekka took me on the trip, and I didn't even know who she was. Again, I didn't take the time to really learn about it, right? The resources were all there for everyone. Like, everyone new coming in, you guys have the same resources that we have now, right? It was just me not going out there and kind of learning how to do it. So it was surrounding myself with people like you guys, that really gave me a bigger, clearer vision. And that was my downfall at the beginning as well. When I was bringing people in, I wasn't painting them that picture of like, hey, you know what this business can do for you if you just spend a little more time here, learn a little bit more here, plugging them into people that I know where I want to go, or that I look up to. It really helps, changes their mindset about this industry, right? Because again, at the time when I was signing everyone, I was just kind of just come in, hit this bonus, and do whatever the hell you want afterwards. And then again, people quit. So I've had to do a lot of learning in that way. And now everyone that I bring in, I always think this, like, if you shelter your teams and you don't connect them with leaders, or don't connect them, like have them plug into Zooms where they can hear from different leaders, you're their glass ceiling. Like, they're not going to want anything beyond what you are. If you're a 4K, everyone coming in, they're not looking to like go 200K. They're not. If you're a 12K and you have your auto bonus, everyone that you bring in probably just wants their auto bonus. And that was where I was at before I met you guys. And, that was the highlight, just meeting you guys and being able to surround myself with just so much success already. I think that kind of changed everything for me as well.
So, talking a little bit about that, because I think that for me personally, when I look at like the teams that really win underneath of me, they're the teams that create this unity and this family. And I tell you what, okay, we go to a lifestyle getaway, you have the biggest team there. Okay. We conference, I mean, your team, it just, and they adore you. Like, there is no, I remember when you were going to $1 million. I mean, your team looks at it like it's a win for everybody, not just you. You know what I mean? Because it is. I don't think people understand how huge that is. It's not just this win for you. It's a win for everyone, because you just proved to everyone on your team that if you can do it, so can they. And it takes a village, that. And I, I guess people want to know the secret. I get asked that all the time. What's Tuyen's secret? What is Tuyen doing? What are some of the things that you think you're doing besides the fact that you've created this huge family and community? What do you think your guys' secret is, just to the constant growth? And I mean, you guys are always growing, and I really haven't seen you have a slow season, to be 100% honest.
Yeah, no, our team is freaking amazing, and I'm so proud of them every single day. So I thought about this the other day, and I'm just like, okay, what am I doing? What did I do back then that I'm still doing now? And, what I asked myself, what is the secret? And honestly, you guys, it's just your passion in the products. Like, I never changed that from the beginning till now. I never lose my excitement with the products. I never lose my passion in this business. I show up every single day with the same consistency as I did when I first started, right? I posted a lot and I got a lot of engagement at the beginning. I still do that now. And I think that's the people's downfall, when they come in and they're not as excited, or they don't sound excited, and people can feel that, right? So I think that is the secret, is just to show up every single day with the same excitement and consistency that you started when you were doing really well. Everyone has a month. Everyone has a month where they're running for bonuses and they're running for rank advances, and they go 10 times everything and they go balls to the walls. So why not continue that with that throughout your whole career here, right? And you know what, honestly, it's my excitement and the way I talk to people. That hasn't changed either. And the way you sound is way better than what you say. I know that, because I can get into a three-way with someone and have I talked about this morning, but you can put me in a three-way and I will have no common grounds with, someone can say, oh, Tuyen, like this person's asking if, you can, if Thrive will work for this. And that has nothing to do with me. I've never experienced it, but because I'm in the three-way and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited for you. You're going to love the product. Like, Thrive has changed my life. Whatever you're looking for, it's going to help you with that. Just get started. They'll believe me. It's like the excitement and the passion. And that's the one thing that I've never slowed down on. And I think that that's what really helped our team grow to the way it has, because we're all really excited and we continue to be consistent. Showing up every single day. You guys, this business, Lisa, I think you say this, everything that I say is repeated from someone else. This is the hardest, easiest job you'll ever do. The hardest part is literally showing up every single day. Like, that's the hardest part, but the work itself is so easy. I have about 6 Zooms planned today, and you would think like, oh my God, that's so hard. Like, she's doing that all single day. But if you think about it, like, all I'm doing is just talking to people, right? But it's literally showing up, being consistent, doing what you're supposed to do daily, where it becomes a routine. And I think if everyone just does that, like, you'll grow. Like, even if it takes 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, we're not in here for, the short term. We're in here for the long term. And I think that that's what, if you can show people that, and you can duplicate that, then your team will just, will grow.
My new puppy's barking. So you said something, oh my gosh, I hope everybody wrote it down if you guys didn't hear this. When she said, how you sound is so much more important than what you say. Oh my gosh, write that down and put stars by it, because they're so right. You guys are so worried about the perfect post, or what am I going to say to this person that just asked me a question? How you sound is so much more important than what you say. I didn't know what I was doing. Tuyen, you didn't either. You were just excited. Oh my gosh, look at the weight I've lost. What's in it? I don't know. Look at the weight I've lost. How does it work? I don't know. look at the weight I've lost. Like, okay, I won it. Like, that is how this works, you guys. So use that voice recorder button. Like, let people hear your passion and stuff. And one of the things you and your team does that I think is huge is you guys have constant, and you rotate it with your team members. You guys always have like live event Zooms. Talk a little bit about, or Facebook Lives. Talk about those a little bit.
So we have opportunity Zooms that honestly, I think we've been doing for like 2 years now, right? Again, I learned it from you guys. You guys were doing it for a little bit and I was like, okay, you know, since our network isn't on Facebook, like we can't, it's very hard for us to invite people onto Facebook because we're mostly on Instagram. So I had to really figure out how I was going to do it, where it kind of helped my, my network. You know, so we do Zooms every single Tuesday, and basically I interview someone with their Thrive experience story, and I talk about the opportunity. And at first it was just me and someone else, and then I got, you know, a second person to come in and do the opportunity with me. And 2 reasons why I do this is because, one, you know, it's third party validation times 3. You know, you invite someone on and they hear that you love the products, they hear a third person love the products, and they hear a second person and then a third person love the products. And again, it's how you sound as well, right? So it's third party validations times 3. So people that get on, they really are excited, and that's why we do opportunity events, right? But again, it's the consistency. Like I can't, like, doing it for a month straight, not doing it for a month, and then coming on again and doing it for another month. Like people are going to not like your credibility, right? It's like, okay, well, now she's doing it, now she's not. So I know that we have to remain consistent with that. And now people are seeing like those banners and those posts up every Tuesday, and they get it, they understand. They have to see it a few times, a few weeks to really get what we're really doing and what we're all about, right? And the second reason why I do it is just to throw the newbies into the fire right away. So that's the thing, right? I learned from my mistakes where, you know, I didn't volunteer to share my story, and I didn't do that for the first like 6-7 months of my career, business. And so now, like, it's literally like, oh, who's brand new, who has a great story, let's get them on to interview them and have them share their story. So after that, like, they literally are like, okay, I've done it. Like, you know, their Zoom cherry is popped. So it really helps in that way. And when I have another leader coming on and sharing the opportunity with me, that helps them be more confident in talking about the business as well. So there's a lot of reasons why I do those things. And those are the main reasons. And it has helped our team a lot. Like, you know, we have opportunity Zooms booked until, you know, it was May, and I was getting names of everyone until July. Like, we're booked till July for people sharing their story. It used to be back then, like, I had to harass people like, hey, do you want to share this? Do you want to share this? Because we weren't consistent with it yet. But now that we are so consistent with it, people know what to expect when they come in. So they just automatically is like, okay, if I'm going to join this business, then I guess that's what I have to do. Because we're also very consistent in sharing what we're doing behind the scenes. So unless you share what you're doing daily with your network, people coming in, they're just going to expect that that's what we do as here, right? So if they decide to join as a promoter, they probably think like, okay, well, I have to do that, then okay, cool, I'll do it. So yeah, those are the many reasons that, you know, we do the Tuesday things every Tuesday.
You know, I think also you had said earlier, I mean, you have so many golden nuggets, but the other one that just popped in my head was when you said you're somebody's glass ceiling. It is so selfish when leaders do not plug their team into other people. Like, if you're on here and you're one of those people that I really want everybody to think about this. If you're on here and you're one of those leaders that you've said, oh, don't plug into that person. If you've ever found yourself talking bad about another person, another leader to a downline, if you've ever felt like you're veering your team away from other people's things, shame on you. I mean, guess what? You may not like somebody, but not everyone. I mean, I couldn't imagine if I was everyone's glass ceiling. There are so many people that would have quit by now because I'm just not their cup of tea. I don't do it for them. I don't inspire them like Chas does, or Amber does, or Maria does, or a sideline, Amanda, or I mean, somebody that's in Courtney Good, somebody in my business that that isn't even on my personal team. I can't even imagine for a second what it would be like if I didn't expose my team to other people. And I think that that's what you've been so good at. And not only are you good at plugging other people into everyone, but you, okay, I swear to you, I always joke around and say that you have like 5 twins. Like literally a twin has twins, because there's no way. How are you on every Zoom? I don't care what it is. I will pop onto Chastity's Wednesday night Zoom. There's twins name. My Thursday night, there's your name. There's your name. You are never not on a Zoom that I've ever been on. And even sidelines. I'm like, how the heck is she on this? Like, how are you in 20 places at once? But people want to know, what do I do to succeed? What do I do to get to $1 million? What do I do to get to 200K? It's work. Twin plugs into everything. She's on everything. She soaks it all in, and she doesn't just get on and, set her phone down. You're interacting. Like, you are interacting in the chats. You are learning things. You're implementing it with your team. I mean, that's how you get there. It's not an easy road. It's a hard road. It's an up and down road. But, the one thing that I think you have to follow the example of the people that are where you want to be. And I'll tell you what, in the last 33 months, 34, 35 months that you've been in this business, I've never seen you not show up, slow down, not be in the PPA. I mean, I don't know how you continue to do it. I've said to Amanda before, there's going to be a time where she slows down, and you never do. Like, it's pretty crazy. So you're proof that it doesn't have to happen. When you sign up and you're so good at VIPing, oh my gosh, you're so good at getting people to VIP. What do you think your trick is, like, with your team and new people, and like getting them to at least get one of those VIP bonuses?
Yeah. So the reason why I continue to share so much, and I never stop sharing the products, because I just put myself back to that, early 20-year-old twin, and how much this opportunity and these products could have helped me out. And so I lead every single day with like, okay, someone really needs this, and someone could really benefit from this. And that's why I'm never going to slow down, because it just doesn't make sense when you have a product that can literally take someone from such a dark place in their life. You guys, I can't even remember what my early 20s were, because it was like I blocked it all out. Like, so I wake up every day, and when I talk to people, I lead with that, and I lead with how much this can really help them, instead of like how much they can really help me. VIPs are our belief check, right? It's the one thing that we duplicate. And I didn't learn this until, talking to Chastity when we went to Mexico. Again, that Mexico trip was like freaking mind-blowing. She told me, she's just like, I was working so hard recruiting everyone, signing everyone on the Thrive experience. And I guess she knew what I could have improved on. And then she told me, she's just like, Twin, like, all you have to worry about is the VIPs, helping people get to their VIPs and duplicating that. And then that went, and then that was when I started self-developing. And then I watched, or I heard Eric Worre's Go Pro. And he said this one line that I continue to use and repeat with everyone, and it's just in the back of my head all the time. Network marketing without duplication is just another job. And that was me. I had a job. My job was to wake up every day and find new thrivers. Like, that was what I was doing. I wasn't duplicating it. And when I got my first VIP check, like, it was like, it was my belief check. Like, I started believing in this network marketing thing since then. But again, I just didn't know how to execute, and I just didn't know that that's what I had to do. And so now everyone that comes into my business, that's all we focus on. Like, we get each other on a welcome call, and I'm just like, don't worry about anything else. I just need you to find 2 customers, 2 promoters, hit your first bonuses, and we will learn everything else as we go, right? People will ask me, like, in their VIP stage, people will ask me like, hey, what do you do when you're at 12K? Like, what do you get? I'm like, don't worry about that. You get a card, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So it's just very focused and in tune. And I tell them how to talk to people as well, right? Because I remember, like, this is what new people do. They all of a sudden hit the promoter button, and now all of a sudden they're like a marketing company for Thrive and Lavelle. Like, they forget why they start doing it, and they forgot their story. So I will train them on like, hey, you know what, let's write a list of people that need Thrive and need this opportunity. And when they go to them, like, I will tell them how to say things like, what is it about this person that can benefit from Thrive? That's what you lead with, right? How they get promoters. I go back to how I got my promoters. It was literally me forcing my friends Thrive down their throat. And I was like, hey, you know what? Like, there's an opportunity here where you can actually make some side income. I need you to try these products, for 5 days. And if you feel anything at all, you're going to promote with me. So I didn't really give them much of a choice. And so like, some listen, but I'm telling you, 2 promoters, 2 customers, that's all you need. You only need 4 people that needs this product. And we know so many people. And I think that people get stuck because scared to approach their people with it, and they're scared to say the wrong things, and they think they're going to make money. But you guys lead into every conversation with how this is going to help them, and they're going to feel it, right? And I think a lot of times when you hit your VIP, those are just people doing you favors. Let's be honest here. It's okay. Let them do you that favor and change their lives with the Thrive experience. So yeah, how I duplicate VIP is just literally training on VIP and just focus on that. And that's it for the first 2 to 3 weeks. Like nothing else.
So we are coming at the top of the hour. You guys, I hope you guys took notes, because you had so many like little teeny nuggets in like this whole thing, just little things. And I hope everybody took notes on them, because it's just those little things that we need to be doing. And this isn't, we've all said this and you said it. It's not rocket science. It's just that duplication. Like you said, it's helping you do the same things over and over again. Set those goals every month. 2 customers, 2 promoters, do it again. You know what I mean? Sometimes you go way past that. Sometimes you don't hit it at all, but that's the goal. And then teaching other people to do the same thing. Like you said, if somebody starts asking you about the auto bonus, you don't tell them. You're like, we'll worry about that later. Let's just get 2 and 2. Let's just get to here first. And not overwhelming people, I think, is definitely the key. So since we are at the top of the hour, we actually all get paid in 2 minutes. Would you end us out with maybe like 1 or 2 tips that you feel like, especially kind of gearing towards new people, since we have so many? What are some things that they need, like are musts, they need to do every single day in their business?
So like IPAs?
Absolutely.
Well, of course, we have to do our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s. If you guys don't know what that is, go search in the Facebook group. So 5 reach outs, follow-ups. Following up is so important, you guys, because again, when I first started, I was signing so many people that I couldn't build that relationship with people, so I wasn't following up with them, and I lost a lot of fortune not following up with them. So I think that's the main thing, and being consistent with your daily posts, and starting your posts or starting everything with your why. I always lead with my story here. People don't care how much money I make. Let's just be honest here. People don't care how successful I am, but I get so many engagements when I tell them my struggle at the beginning and how I got there. And it took me back to whenever I meet someone and I was in that part of my life where I was always looking for something to do, I would always ask people like, hey, what did you do? And I was more curious about how they got there. So you guys don't ever stop sharing your story of the struggles and how you got to where you are. It doesn't matter what rank you are. If you are thriving for free, you are winning. Share with people that, right? So lead with your story, and lead with your story should lead with your why always, and never just think like, yeah. I think that's the main thing.
Well, Tuyen, I want to thank you so much for hopping on today and sharing with everybody. And I always wish I wish everybody had like 5 hours. We could just keep talking. I'm sure you're like full of knowledge, but I hope that you guys really, really picked up on some things that Tuyen said and then put them into action. Like not today, not tomorrow, like right this second, not next week, right this second. And Tuyen, I just want to tell you how I tell you this all the time, but we're so proud of you. And not only that, but just I couldn't be more proud to lead with somebody that you're so humble, and nothing has changed you from when you were 4K 80K, 200K, millionaire, you're just the same person. And you have a team that absolutely adores you. But your team is just like you're all one. And I think, man, if we can't get enough out of these Zooms, that every single one of these 200Ks, most of us talk about the unity in the family, and that's what keeps a team together. There's going to be bad times, good times, and all of that. But what keeps a team together through those ups and downs is that unity and family. And you guys definitely have that. And I think it's what sets you apart from a lot of other teams. And you got the magic sauce. You got the magic sauce. I appreciate you. You're amazing. You guys, I want to thank all of you for hopping on every single Tuesday, this same time, this same link, a different 200K. Um, and we're going to delve into 80Ks too. We're just going to keep going. Like, we're just going to keep getting more and more on, because we have so much leadership that they have so many tips that you've got to hear. And it could be just one little thing you're not doing that you hear from one of these ladies. And I know for me personally, this Zoom pumps me up every week because I hear someone struggle too. It wasn't all just this ride to the top and then it's easy. It doesn't matter whether we're 200Ks, millionaires in the company, we have bad weeks, bad months, bad years. I always say 2020 is having a bad year for a lot of people, unless you're in Lavelle. We're all having good years. But you just need stuff like this to stay in touch with everybody, but not just that, in touch with yourself and making sure that you're plugged in and learning. You're always learning and growing. You never know it all. In fact, I'm like you, Twin. You're like, I borrowed everything I say from someone else. That's me. I always say I don't have one original thought. I just get on everything. I take other people's stuff and I make it my own. And, it's not like people get on things and they're like, oh my God, that was amazing with you, Twin. They're like, oh my God. Or with me. And I'm like, we learned that somewhere else. We've all learned what we speak somewhere else. It's not like we went to bed tonight and went, oh my God, I just came up with this. Most of the time, it's because we heard it from someone else and then we just improved on it or put our own spin on it and messed around with it a little bit. And that's where you're going to get to that next level. So Twin, thank you so much. So much. Happy payday, everybody. Please go make your awesome payday post. You never know who's watching. And let me tell you what, it's that payday post every week that somebody that's watching you is like, man, I need to put gas in my car. I need food in my fridge. I want a yacht, whatever. Whatever your paycheck is paying for this week. But you guys, I love you. Thanks, Twin. See you guys next Tuesday.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thanks, honey.